Good morning, everybody. So last night was a late night at the camp. We had lightning and thunderstorm warnings, and we actually started our last session late. It was supposed to be at 7 o'clock at night. We got there a little after 8, and then when we were in the rec hall wrestling, there was more lightning, so we were stuck there. The kids couldn't leave, and some of them were wrestling up towards 11 o'clock at night. So it's an early morning. I'm pretty tired right now. And I'm doing this video walking around the hotel we're at because yesterday when I did the video walking around Penn State campus, when I came back to the rec hall, I realized they did something new and they locked the doors. I was locked out for a while, which is kind of funny. So I was banging on the doors and this nice lady was nice enough to let me back in. So yesterday I did a video on the fit guys I saw, which were amazing. I see them every year when we come down here, and they're aging fantastic. But there's another side to the story, right? I saw a lot of guys who were not putting a lot of effort into themselves. A lot of them were the dads. And, you know, I hate it, but I see it all the time. I call it SASLBB, skinny arms, skinny legs, big belly. You know, and it's killing me to see these guys who are not only not putting a lot of effort into themselves, but I have to say it's more like they are putting effort into being the way that they are, because it takes effort to put something into your body you know you shouldn't do. It takes effort to talk yourself out of exercising when you know that you should. That's not easy either. That's not something that just you can completely neglect. You have to somehow justify that to yourself, that is somehow okay. And there's a lot of danger to that. You see these guys with, you know, when they have very little amounts of muscle on their body, that means they don't have much muscle that is causing their myokines to give all of these wonderful little peptides going around their body to make them healthier. And when they have these big bellies, there's that visceral fat that is causing all this inflammation. So they're having poor health, increased inflammation, and man, they're heading in the wrong direction, right? Like they're really setting themselves up for decline. You know, these are the failing guys. We got the fit guys I talked about yesterday in the video, and now today we got the failing guys that hold on, my camera keeps wanting to fall off here, that I see a lot. And there's more than just the physical side to all of that, where it was very easy to see. Like, I'm a watcher, right? I really do. I watch a lot. I see what people do, and I just think about what's going on in people's minds, right? Because everyone knows they're supposed to exercise. Everyone knows they're supposed to pay attention to what they're putting in their body. So how do they get away with feeling okay about not doing that? And as a quick little side note, something that blows my mind too is some of these guys who are not in shape at all, their wives looked pretty good. You know, like, what are their wives thinking being with a guy with a big old belly and skinny arms and skinny legs when the women are obviously trying to take care of themselves more? I don't even understand that. But anyway, the other thing I really noticed was the failing guys, skinny arms, skinny legs, big belly, they were really withdrawn. They were on their phones. Like, oh my God, their whole day was 16 inches in front of their face. They weren't even really paying attention to much of what was going around them. And not only that, they were kind of like, when I would walk by them, they would puff all up and get all bullyish and, you know, kind of be crude with their mannerisms. There was one guy, my son and I like to walk around campus in between sessions, right? Because Penn State is just absolutely gorgeous. And we walked by the Berkey Creamery, right, where they sell that amazing ice cream. There was one dude eating his ice cream outside. He was glaring at me like he was gonna come and attack me, like we were on a battlefield. And I'm just walking with my son, and he just was like completely confronting me with his eyes. And I'm thinking, dude, what is your problem? And guess what? Skinny arms, skinny legs, big belly. And the dude couldn't run a block, right? I don't understand. 2 more bunnies. Penn State is littered with bunnies, by the way, this area. I think we counted 18 bunnies in one day the other day. But why do they have to be like this? And then I look at the fit guys, and they're happy, they're joking around, they're interacting with their environment a lot more. You know, like, what what's the difference in mentality, good morning, between the guys who are fit and in shape and are happy and interacting and joking around and polite and pleasant, and the dudes who are failing and honestly kind of toxic. They're toxic in their behavior and how they're dealing with people. So I don't understand that either, but there's definitely a connection there. I don't know if they're mad at me because I don't look like that. I don't know. But very interesting, not only the physical difference between fit guys versus failing guys, but also in the behavioral and mental aspects between the fit guys and the failing guys. And I gotta ask you, why? Why do you think that is? Why is there such a difference between life path and mentality, and what's gonna happen to these people as these fit guys obviously are gonna live a healthier, more adventurous second 50 years of their life? They already are. Versus the other guys who are just gonna keep getting loaded up on medications, because if they weren't gonna take the medications, they'd start dying. And I need to know, like, I gotta figure this out. What makes a man let himself get like that? And what makes a man fight to stay strong and capable and formidable in his second 50 years? There has to be some kind of core reason why a male can split down two different paths and live that way year after year after year. So I want to know your thoughts. You know, we're going to be getting ready soon and start getting in for the morning session. Comment below on why you think a guy can be okay failing and obviously be miserable about it, and then someone else can decide to put in the effort to be fit and live a good life and be happy about it. What's the dividing line? What do you think?